Greetings, gold mines. This is Alchemistic Gold Mine. It's been a while since I've been here, and I have to really have to apologize. I haven't posted anything in a while, but I've been dealing with a few things and taking care of a few things. So, when you get into this game of posting YouTube videos, you realize it takes a lot of energy to do this. I have a lot of respect for all the YouTubers out there. It's a lot of energy, and you have to put time and everything into it. But I'm really enjoying this. I hope that everyone is benefiting from these videos. And I want to say I really appreciate my subscribers. All you guys, I really appreciate you for hanging with me. I appreciate my new subscribers and my potential subscribers. If you first time here, welcome. And please get a chance, please hit the like button. Make a comment. I'd like to hear from you. This is really new to me. I like to, any suggestions, whatever. And I really appreciate you. Hit the like, subscribe, the button and the bell and all that stuff and everything, I appreciate it. So today, what I want to talk about is what everybody else is talking about. Will and Jada. Will, Jada, and Chris, actually. And I made some notes on what I thought. And this is, I'm going to go briefly over these and then I'm going to go deeper into it. So what I said is Will Smith missed a great opportunity to step above all of the insults and all of his critics. And Chris Rock, he had a platform that was one of being one of the greatest film actors of 2022. He is being inducted into an extremely elite group of people. Best Actor Award doesn't come up every day. There are people who work their whole lives and never get this. There are people who are great actors and never get this chance. Will Smith had a platform to completely eradicate all of the naysayers, all the critics, and Chris Rock's comments. He's among the super elites of his profession, the super elite. Now, I don't totally disagree with what Chris was feeling. What Will was feeling. I don't disagree with what Will was feeling about Chris. However, and Jada and all that, I do disagree with how he expressed his emotion. I don't disagree with the motivation, but I disagree with how he expressed his anger, if you will. This is the 22 year. I said this earlier in post before. This is a 22 year. What does a 22 year mean? A 22 year means that this is a year of mastery. Things will come up in your life, and there are issues, and you will have to deal with them. It's a 22 vibration is the highest vibration in tarot. It is also the 22 pathways, but it is the number when it comes up. It means it's no longer party time. You put up or shut up. You have 22 and you have 0. 0 is the fool. 22 is the highest number, and of the major arcana. And Chris, it was 22, the mastery position versus Chris, which is the fool. Chris was the jester. He's the fool. He's making light of the situation and everything. And it's how you deal with that situation whether determines whether you move to the next level or whether you are going to stay where you are. I'll elaborate. So he had an opportunity to step above the din of the average person. Now we're not talking about the average person in terms of a bad thing. The average vibration person. If you're in a position where you're a master physicist and you're studying at MIT, you don't go and hang around, seventh graders. And there's nothing wrong with being a seventh grade. There's nothing wrong with being a master MIT physicist. Each one of them has their place. But if you're going to aspire to that, you hang around and you act as if you're a master. You don't act as if you're a seventh grader. Okay. So Chris Rock was not up for an Oscar. And I don't know if he ever will be up for an Oscar. And neither will any of his critics. Again, Will is entering an elite position due to his work. And that wasn't thought out. So that's what I have to say on it. Now let's go in. So what I first want to do is talk about Chris Rock. Chris Rock is the kind of guy that when he was in seventh grade, he would be teasing everybody. How do I know that? Because I dealt with a lot of Chris Rocks. He's very quick. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. He knows how to make light of situations. He's probably the class clown. Very talented person. But I think that his comedy has become caustic in the last few years. I think he's become, just like a lot of comedians, a lot of comedy, a lot of music has become very insensitive. The vibrations become very negative, very destructive thing. When you talk about a woman and her hair, that's pretty intense. He knew what he was doing. For some reason, I don't know, maybe he doesn't like Jada. And I think that the comments weren't necessary. I'm going to go into those comments a little bit more because there's a lot there, a lot of people not seeing and not understanding. But I think, comedy, people will say, well, comedy with Don Rickles and all that. Don Rickles used to do insult comedy, but he had a line. He wouldn't talk about people's children. He wouldn't talk about people's wives. He wouldn't get too personal with people. He would cut just enough that you would feel it, but he would not hurt you on a deep level. I think that's a problem. And a lot of people say, well, you go to a comedy club, you're going to get insulted. I didn't pay my money to come and get insulted. I paid to come laugh. I've been in the front row of a comedy club. The guy went after me, and when I responded back with him, when I threw a punch back at him mentally, he got mad. So he started to get personal. Because I know the game. I played with him. I know comedians and I know, what the deal is. There was another time I went to comedy club, the guy went in on me and I just laughed at him. He didn't get too personal. He just made a joke, made some jokes and whatnot. There's an art to it, you don't insult people. You have a sensitivity to it. I think Chris probably didn't care. Like Eleanor Roosevelt said, there are people who vibrational people, lower vibrational people, who talk about things, and they talk about people. Mid-level vibrational people talk about events and what happened. And high vibrational people talk about concepts and talk about higher things and how they create things and make things happen. So the high vibrational people create the events that the mid-vibrational people talk about. So that being said, Chris's comedy has gone from talking about concepts and ideas and situations to people. I think his comedy has actually dropped in vibration. I actually think he's not as funny as he used to be. There's some things, he's regressed, actually. That's my opinion. Now, as far as Jada is concerned, I think Jada made a grave error also. Chris pointed out the thing that Jada was upset because there weren't many black people at the Oscars. Well, Jada, you just put a black mark, no pun intended, a negative mark, not a black mark. You put a negative mark on black people or people of color in general in the face of everybody. Your behavior, you know, Chris also, you know, nobody's above this. Will also, all three of you. The behavior of everything, it was a schoolyard. But this is, you say we're not invited, but then you do this. I'm looking at, you know, I'll talk more about that in a minute, but I think Jade is very intelligent. I respect her in terms of intelligence, in terms of her mind. I just don't respect a lot of things that she does, and I respect her as a being, but I don't respect a lot of things that she does. I think that if you're going to talk to your husband about the problems that you have, you don't go to the red table, you go to the kitchen table. A lot of the actors and actresses and people, public figures, do not discuss their private lives on camera. It will destroy you. And there are people that want to destroy you anyway. They're going after you because they're jealous of you. And you put your neck on the table. And I know Jade is a practitioner. And you know, as a practitioner, you don't share everything with everybody. You don't do that. You destroy yourself. So she knows that, and I don't know why she would do that. Not unless she wants to destroy her marriage. Why would you put your business, so-called, in the street? Why would you do that? And that was the thorn in the paw of the lion. And that thorn's been sitting there for a minute, as well as her other indiscretions. Now let's get to the lion, Will Smith. Will Smith was the king. He was in a position of power. He was receiving, again, one of the most elite honors that his profession could provide him. He was in a position of a platform that he could have addressed all of this at his acceptance speech. You know, the lion is the one that controls the veldt. He controls the savannah. And so Will is the lion, Jade is the lioness, and Chris represents Sebic energy, which is the hyena, which is the jackal. If you look at Will, he looks like a lion. Jada looks like a lioness, and Chris Rock looks like Sebic, a jackal. He looks like the jackal. Now, what is Sebic? Sebic is this energy right here. Okay, and it's not. I'm not looking at it like it's a god or anything. Like, it's an energy. And what Sebic is Anubis, Sebic, Anansi, Mercury, that type of energy where it's real quick, a quick mind, real sharp tongue, real quick, right? And that's what Chris Rock is. Very, very, very bright, very sharp, very perceptive and everything. Very quick mouth, very witty. And that's, the jackal. That's what they call Sebic and Anansi. And those energies lead you, or the test. They are the rock, and that funny rock, in the road that when you're presented with going to the next level, they test you. So Chris Rock was actually a test for Will Smith. He's a test because that type of energy will test you and to see if you're ready to move to the next level. So Will Smith is a lion. And the lion sits back and is chilling while the female lion hunts. Lioness hunts. And the jackal will bark at her and laugh at her and everything, and nobody cares, right? Because she's doing her business, he's doing his business. But if that jackal comes and attacks the female, the lion will destroy him. Okay? There's a difference between attacking and barking at somebody. Okay? That's the distinction I want to draw. Jada was barked at. She wasn't attacked, maybe. But if Will was going to retaliate, he could have done it on the same level as Chris. He didn't have to go, he went lower. Chris was on a mental level. Will went to a physical level, so he went to a lower vibration. If he had handled it correctly, he could have come out shining and smelling like a rose. But he didn't handle it correctly, so there you go. The lion never worries about the jackal unless he steps into his zone. The lion doesn't sweat a jackal barking. And he's not going to get up out of his chair. Now, you're sitting in your chair, your position of power. You got up out of your chair, left your throne, because this is your night. You're receiving the highest award that a one person can receive in the Oscars. You got up out of your chair and you placed yourself on the same platform as somebody who's not your equal in terms of this night. He's not your equal. Okay? So you actually brought yourself down a level. And you did an action that was lower vibrationally than him. So you brought yourself down. Okay? And Jada was not operating from a higher state because she was influencing Will to do that. But Will is a king. The king doesn't rush when the lioness, doesn't. The king gets his messages from spirit. He will protect the lioness, but she doesn't tell him what to do. Okay, the lioness is ruled by his spirit. He's not ruled the lion is ruled by his spirit, not by the lioness, nor by the jackal. That's a master. A master doesn't have to throw a punch. He just has to look at you. A kung fu master will just look at you and you'll walk away. I guarantee you. Steve Harvey said, when the dog barks at the moon doesn't bark back. What does that mean? That means when you're a higher vibration, you don't worry about people who just saying something about you. You have to be big enough to step around that. You have Will, who's the sun, which is the lion, Jada, which is the moon, and Jada's energy, Will's energy provides the light. And Jada's a reflection. She reflects this beautiful light that Will's providing, right? And Chris Rock is the dog that barks at the moon. Now, does the moon tell the sun, go burn the dog? If the sun goes and burns the dog, he burns up everything. When you're in a higher position, you don't worry about what other people say. If it's true, it apparently it must have resonated something because it's true. And I'm going to explain what Chris Rock said. It really wasn't about her hair. It was about something else that I figured out. It was something else that he was saying. Okay. So Will had a chance to actually attain mastery. This is the year of mastery. You will be tested. And he dropped the ball. I think I'm going to do a part 2. And there's just so much here. There's lessons here for us all. There's a lesson. So I'm going to do a part 2. We're going to post this first one, and I'm going to create part 2. Thank you for watching this. And once again, don't slay your dragons, ride them.